Samyutta Nikaya 12.6 Vessabhūsutta at Savatthi. Mendicants, Vessabhū, the Blessed One, the Perfected One, the fully awakened Buddha, had this thought before his awakening, when he was still unawakened, but intent on awakening. Alas, this world has fallen into trouble. It's born, grows old, dies, passes away, and is reborn. Yet it doesn't understand how to escape from this suffering, from old age and death. Oh, when will an escape be found from the suffering from old age and death? Then Vessabhū, the one intent on awakening, thought, when what exists is there old age and death? What is a condition for old age and death? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When rebirth exists, there's old age and death. Rebirth is a condition for old age and death. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists is there rebirth? What is a condition for rebirth? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When continued existence exists, there is rebirth. Continued existence is a condition for rebirth. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists is there continued existence? What is a condition for continued existence? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When grasping exists, there is continued existence. Grasping is a condition for continued existence. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists is there grasping? What is a condition for grasping? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When craving exists, there's grasping. Craving is a condition for grasping. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists is there craving? What is a condition for craving? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When feeling exists, there's craving. Feeling is a condition for craving. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists is there feeling? What is a condition for feeling? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When contact exists, there's feeling. Contact is a condition for feeling. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists is there contact? What is a condition for contact? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When the six sense fields exist, there's contact. The six sense fields are a condition for contact. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists are there the six sense fields? What is a condition for the six sense fields? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When name and form exist, there are the six sense fields. Name and form are a condition for the six sense fields. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists are there name and form? What is a condition for name and form? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When consciousness exists, there are name and form. Consciousness is a condition for name and form. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists is there consciousness? What is a condition for consciousness? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When choices exist, there's consciousness. Choices are a condition for consciousness. Then Vessabhū thought, when what exists are there choices? What is a condition for choices? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When ignorance exists, there are choices. Ignorance is a condition for choices. And so, ignorance is a condition for choices. Choices are a condition for consciousness. Consciousness is a condition for name and form. Name and form are conditions for the six sense fields. The six sense fields are conditions for contact. Contact is a condition for feeling. Feeling is a condition for craving. Craving is a condition for grasping. Grasping is a condition for continued existence. Continued existence is a condition for rebirth. Rebirth is a condition for old age and death. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress to come to be. That is how this entire mass of suffering originates. Origination, origination. While Vessabhū was intent on awakening, such was the vision, knowledge, wisdom, realization, and light that arose in him regarding teachings not learned before from another. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no old age and death? When what ceases, do old age and death cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When rebirth doesn't exist, there's no old age and death. When rebirth ceases, old age and death cease. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no rebirth? When what ceases, does rebirth cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When continued existence doesn't exist, there is no rebirth. When continued existence ceases, rebirth ceases. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no continued existence? When what ceases, does continued existence cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When grasping doesn't exist, there's no continued existence. When grasping ceases, continued existence ceases. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no grasping? When what ceases, does grasping cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When craving doesn't exist, there is no grasping. When craving ceases, grasping ceases. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no craving? When what ceases, does craving cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When feeling doesn't exist, there is no craving. When feeling ceases, craving ceases. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no feeling? When what ceases, does feeling cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When contact doesn't exist, there is no feeling. When contact ceases, feeling ceases. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no contact? When what ceases, does contact cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When the six sense fields don't exist, there's no contact. When the six sense fields cease, contact ceases. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, are there no six sense fields? When what ceases, do the six sense fields cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When name and form don't exist, there are no six sense fields. When name and form cease, the six sense fields cease. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, are there no name and form? When what ceases, do name and form cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When consciousness doesn't exist, there are no name and form. When consciousness ceases, name and form cease. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, is there no consciousness? When what ceases, does consciousness cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When choices don't exist, there's no consciousness. When choices cease, consciousness ceases. Then Vessabhū thought, when what doesn't exist, are there no choices? When what ceases, do choices cease? Then, through rational application of mind, Vessabhū comprehended with wisdom. When ignorance doesn't exist, there are no choices. When ignorance ceases, choices cease. And so, when ignorance ceases, choices cease. When choices cease, consciousness ceases. When consciousness ceases, name and form cease. When name and form cease, the six sense fields cease. When the six sense fields cease, contact ceases. When contact ceases, feeling ceases. When feeling ceases, craving ceases. When craving ceases, grasping ceases. When grasping ceases, continued existence ceases. When continued existence ceases, rebirth ceases. When rebirth ceases, old age and death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, sadness, and distress cease. That is how this entire mass of suffering ceases. Cessation, cessation. Such was the vision, knowledge, wisdom, realization, and light that arose in Vessabhū, the one intent on awakening regarding teachings not learned before from another. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.